everyone. We're so glad you came back to join us for another episode. Hi. It's been a few days since Cynthia and I saw each other, so what have you been up to?
Oh, goodness, let me think. What have I been up to? Let's see. Well, actually just yesterday, I did have kind of a icky appointment, kind of a weird appointment. It's just to catch everybody up on my oncology stuff.
Oh, yeah.
My oncologist had referred me over to palliative care.
What is that?
So it's really not something that is pertaining to me right now, but it's something like before hospice.
Oh.
Which I know that sounds really weird because
terrible.
I don't even feel sick right now.
No.
You know?
You seem so well, and you look so well.
Thank you. I feel well.
But it's like your doctor is like trying to be like precautionary or like proactive.
It's because I have denied any more treatment.
Oh.
So she basically felt that since I was not doing any more treatments, that the only other thing that she felt she could do was refer me, because they have to refer you out, to palliative care. And I thought, well, I guess I'll just go, and that way I can meet with the doctor and talk to him, and when I'm well, not when I'm sick or whatever.
Yeah, because when you're not feeling good, you don't want to have to deal with all those doctor appointments and setups and all that stuff.
Right. So I just thought, okay, I'm just going to go. And it was this place about a half an hour away. And anyway, I'd be there at 8:30 in the morning. I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, so I go in there and, I meet the nurse and you talk to them for a while. And then this young man comes in and he was just the nicest. I have to say kid, because he's younger than my son.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he qualifies as a kid.
He tells me.
Even though he probably has a, he's licensed nurse.
I hope he's licensed.
PhD, right?
I hope he is.
I always think it's so funny when a doctor comes in and they are younger than me. I still think I'm so young.
This one's way younger.
Oh my gosh.
This one's younger than my son.
I'm like,
so
all right,
I was
Doogie Howser.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Because I said, like, how old are you? After a while we had talked, and he says, I'm 35. And I said, oh my gosh, you're younger than my son. I said, I knew you were young, but I didn't know you were that young,
Yes.
But anyway, he had gone through my whole, chart, through the computer.
Yeah.
And he had looked at my my last PET scan that I just had. And so anyway, he starts off, and I just thought this was so cute. He starts off and he holds his hands like this and he says, I just got to tell you, there's a piece of hair that's like bugging me. Sorry.
Live filming.
Yeah. He goes, I just have to let you know that you have a piece of my heart right here.
Oh.
And I said, and I go,
makes you misty.
I go, really? And he goes, because, I never met the guy before, right?
Yeah.
So I said, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, I read up on you. And he said, you have gone through the same as my mom.
Oh.
And I said, really? And he said, yes. And he said, my mother went through, starting at the age of 29, she got her first breast cancer.
And how old were you?
35.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought I was young.
Yeah.
And she was 29.
Wow.
And kind of the same thing. She went through whatever she had to do and treatment and all that. And then you're cleared. And then at 34, it came back. And so then she went through it again and did all this again. And then he said, and this was even before he was even born.
Oh, serious?
So I said, wow. So she got lucky to go through chemo and everything, because a lot of times they say that can kill your eggs.
Oh.
And you become sterile.
Oh, my gosh.
It can happen with chemotherapy.
That's so sad.
And I said, so you were a miracle baby then,
right?
She got pregnant, she met your dad and all this after 34.
Wow.
So anyway, then he was telling me that it came back again years later down the road, and how she had to have the surgeries done to remove certain item. I can't remember exactly, but it was her ovaries. Remove her ovaries, and so she did do like.
So it went from like breast cancer to like
down
ovarian.
To ovarian cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. So they did a whole hysterectomy on her and all that. But anyway, so she had gone through all that, and then again, you're clean, right? And then again, it comes back. And I said, I go, I feel her pain, your mom, because that's the thing with these cancers that they can't get rid of, is it just keeps coming back. And so it's very disheartening every time it comes back, because you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you never feel like you're in the clear. Like you're always worried.
Every little ache and pain is like, oh my gosh, there's another tumor there.
Gosh.
You always, and it's in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And you can't help it. So anyway, so it did. It came back, and it came back on her pancreas, and it came back like some other areas. But anyway, so I said, well, I hate to ask. I said, but your mom did pass away, and he said, yeah, she passed away at 57.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, and he goes, yeah, I was only 21.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, oh my gosh,
boy.
I wanted to hug him.
Yes. Serious.
He was just the sweetest kid.
Oh my gosh, he's in such a good field for the compassion that he understands at such a young age.
Mom. Yeah, all through, from the time he was born, and then she went through a lot, even in his younger years, he said.
Wow.
And he said he actually was going to become an oncologist. That was what he thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
But once he delved into it, he said he really felt more drawn to the palliative care, because you're caring for the people.
Right.
And, maybe they're not so good times. Not so much hospice, where it's more life-ending.
Right.
But more of caring for that person during their time here.
Just making sure they're comfortable, they're not experiencing any pain.
Any medications. And then he even talked about emotional. It can be not just physical, but if emotional. If you needed to talk with somebody, or we're having problems with it, or we're getting depressed, or all that kind of thing. But he was just the nicest guy, and I just felt like it was just really cool to. I just have it in my back pocket, basically.
Yes.
Couple things he said to me kind of scared me a little bit.
What did he say? Do you mind saying?
Well, he just kind of said when he went through my PET scan, he said, he goes, I don't mean to scare you or anything like that. And he goes, but I know you know. He said, they always say hospice is for people who, we don't say they're going to die in 6 months. But we say that in 6 months, we wouldn't be surprised if they died.
Oh, my gosh.
That's kind of what he said hospice kind of is. And he said, just so you know, you would qualify for hospice. And I said, yippee.
Thanks.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I said, I think that's something I don't want to qualify for.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I'm just putting it out there. I just want you to know that I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if things progressed. And like we all know, everything progresses in people differently.
Yeah.
I might just keep what I'm doing for another year. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
We can only just think positive. And like we said, we are going to join. And I even told him about our podcast.
Did you?
He asked me, what do I do for enjoying my everydays? Because he said, you should travel. You should do all the things you want to do. And I said, I have been.
Yeah.
I said, I've been doing it for 6.5 years. And I said, so I have done tons of things, I've wanted to do. And I said, and I got to tell you, I said, me and my best friend started a podcast. And I said, we enjoy it, and we have so much fun. And I said, and we enjoy spending so much time together and going places. It gives us excuses, to we got to go here. Sorry.
It's for the podcast.
We got to go out of town.
Right?
So So anyway, yeah, he just said he thought it was great. He thought that it was great. We were having so much fun, and that I am enjoying every single day, which I am.
Yeah,
I really
sure
do.
Well, and too, you know, like when you had originally gotten your diagnosis, they had told her if you don't get any treatment, you have about a year. And if she did get treatment, which she did, then she would have 2 years. So like she said, she's on, well, May 18th.
May 18th will be 7.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so for him to say that you qualify for hospice, like I'm rejecting that.
Yeah, I kind of rejected it.
Because you've already proven the doctors wrong.
Yeah.
You know, with almost 7 years. So we appreciate the, you know, qualification.
Yeah.
But we are denying the qualification for hospice.
Oh gosh.
We'll settle for the palliative care because we want to make sure that you're comfortable. But
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a difficult appointment to go to, and like to have that boy or that guy.
The boy.
The boy.
That little boy.
35, right?
Yeah.
To be so compassionate,
Yeah.
like I think that is such a gift.
He was.
You know, that you give to somebody. So when Steve goes in to get his biliary drain exchanged every 3 months, the girls in that department are so fun. The one that we love, I think her name is Lindsay. And every time we go, she recognizes us, and it's like a party in that room. And I just tell her all the time, like, you make like a terrible appointment like something that we look forward to.
And it's fun.
Yes.
Make it fun.
Because we're talking about her on the way there. And then when we see her, it's just a bright experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because of the nurses and the doctors and the people that are
totally agree.
caring for us.
Yeah, I mean, the nurses they're so wonderful. They really, really are.
Wow.
They're just the best, you know.
That
And
makes
so many of the nurses I've met and doctors I've met, I mean, some not so much, you know, sometimes you just don't mesh. You just don't really, you know, care for them that much.
Yeah.
But then you'll meet somebody that kind of stills your heart.
Yes.
And just, you know, you
has
really.
that warmth.
Yeah, and you just really feel close to, you know. So that's really good. That I'm so glad that Steve has that also.
Yes.
You know?
Totally. I mean, even when he gets his infusion every Friday, it's like all the girls in there know us now, and they're just so nice, and they always try to make us both comfortable. They're offering me a blanket and me hot chocolate, and I'm like, focus on Steve. Give all your love and attention to Steve. He needs it.
That's so sweet, though. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, okay, so this morning we took Echo to Marqueen Animal Hospital to get his stitches out, and it's amazing having all those black stitches come out. Makes it look so much better. He looked like Freddy Krueger had gotten a hold of him, because he's got the incision on his belly where they took out the tumors and his spleen, and then he's got, you know, the incision on his back where they took off the skin tag. And so anyways, I was super excited that they got those out, and we haven't had any complications with him eating the raw biscuit. So he survived the raw biscuit dough, and then of course now he's got this huge shave spot that goes from his back all the way under his belly. So he looks really shabby, and so and
he's a shabby sheep
he
dog.
is a shabby sheepdog. And the really cute thing is that Cynthia knows this, but I'll share it with you guys. An influencer who has pet products reached out to us on Girl Talk and Shenanigans on Instagram, and she asked if she could send some of her items so that we could showcase them on Echo and tag her in them. So I'm super excited to get those things in the mail, and we'll show them off to you guys when we get them. But we definitely need to get Echo to the groomer so we can like put him back together.
So it looks normal.
Yes. So, and because his fur is like this long, and then it's like shaved bald in some places. So I think we're just gonna have him cut really short, and maybe just do a teddy bear cut on his face.
He's so cute.
And then
his face is adorable.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he really does have the cutest little face ever. But so anyway, so we did that this morning. But yesterday, I have to show you.
Oh.
I'm hiding these over here.
Oh.
Steve and I got invited to go to the wedding of one of the girls that grew up next door to us. And so we are going to her wedding, and I bought some shoes, and I wanted to show you guys how freaking cute they are.
Oh my gosh.
Can you see the
So
sparkle? There's like a bow here.
Yes, I
Gosh,
love
it's so glowy. I don't know if you can see it, but anyways. So I got these at the Nordstrom Rack. Of course, I was debating between these and Sam Edelman, but the Sam Edelmans were on sale for $99, and these were only on sale for $41.96. So anyhow, I got these, and I just absolutely love them. And
Super cute.
anyways, so I haven't got a dress yet, but I thought the attire is like cocktail attire. So I thought if I were to get like a really cute little black dress, then I can wear the silver shoes.
Super cute.
And I was going to say, I need a silver purse. And you have a silver purse.
Sure do.
We talked about that on the podcast.
Yes, we did.
Oh my gosh, so maybe you'll let me borrow?
Of course I would.
Your little silver purse. I didn't even think about it till right now when I'm talking about it. Because I'm like, I need a black dress, but I also need a purse. So, okay, we'll talk off the air about that. So anyways, we're super excited for the wedding. It's in Walnut Grove, and I've never been, which is so funny because Cynthia and I were trying to think of fun things that we wanted to do to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
And she goes, have you ever heard of, what is it called?
The Grand Mansion.
The Grand Mansion. And I go, where is that? And she said Walnut Grove. And I go, that's so funny you're saying that because
She's like, I think that's where we're going.
yes, I'd never heard of Walnut Grove before until I got the invention to the wedding. And so anyhow, it is the same place.
Yep,
so
it is.
anyhow,
It is the same place. And I only knew about it because somebody at work had gotten married there once before. And I said, gosh, that's odd. I've never, ever, this was many, many years ago, that I had never heard of it back then.
oh yeah,
But I knew Walnut Grove because my mom's best friend had lived there way back when. So I knew, it's on the Delta. So
is it like out by like Elk Grove or
further?
like
it's
Lodi?
out that way on the Delta. You literally drive on the Delta.
Oh.
Yeah, and you just keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, it's way out there, like Cortland, Lock, all that.
Oh,
all
gosh.
out there, yeah.
That's funny. I've lived here my
So-
whole life, and I never heard of Walnut Grove. It
Oh,
sounds
wow.
like something like on Little House on the Prairie.
Well, and it's
or
a
something.
tiny little town.
Oh, it
It's
is?
a tiny, tiny little town. Yeah,
Oh,
but it's
cute.
very quaint, and probably everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, and probably
you know?
the Grand Mansion put them on the map.
I don't know, because I had never heard of it.
Well, I hadn't either.
Well,
so.
I hadn't. Yeah, you hadn't still.
So I guess maybe they're not quite on the map yet.
I know, right? Oh, but that sounds so fun to go to a pretty wedding and wear your silver shoes and carry my silver bag.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm excited to get all
Oh my
dressed
gosh.
up and get fancy.
Oh, I know.
Now that it don't work, I don't always
don't get to do it. I know.
Yeah, dressed up,
That's probably
so-
the only thing I miss about work.
Yes.
Is getting dressed up.
Yes.
I agree.
Me too.
But gosh, that gets me thinking about like weddings and all the fun you have when you get married. I know I used to always say, "Oh, I wouldn't mind having another wedding."
I know, because every time you get married,
Doing it again.
yeah,
you know?
all the styles change and the floral arrangements
so
change.
much
Yeah.
changed. And oh my gosh, when I got married, and it was kind of a total fiasco.
Oh, it was?
It was.
I mean, I was a
she
guest.
She was there. She was a guest.
Yes, but I
um,
sometimes when you're the guest, you don't know all the like scrambling going on.
Yeah, and that's how you want it, right?
Yes,
You want it
behind
to
the
where
scenes.
it looked, because everybody told me you would have never known, that all this stuff had gone on.
Yeah.
And so of course, I got married at, back then, now it's not even called that anymore, but it was called the Sterling Hotel.
Oh, what is it now?
I don't remember the name
it's
of
like-
it, but it's something else.
Oh, okay.
But it's a big Victorian house, and
Gorgeous.
Yeah. The white pillars and all that, and so the rooms are upstairs, and so you can rent a room to get ready in. And then we had rented the honeymoon suite to spend the night because we were flying out to Hawaii the next day.
Oh, fun.
And so anyway, so we had the room upstairs, and then the whole bottom is where I wanted to have the wedding and the reception. I wanted it all. I didn't want to do it in a church. And so I wanted it, everybody to feel comfortable we're not moving chairs. We're not doing, taking away tables, all this stuff. I wanted it all to be set up, round tables, chairs, so that everybody's comfortable sitting, and then there was a walkway that I would walk down. Okay.
Oh, right.
And then we would get married right where the pillar was and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I'm of course there early, and I was upstairs doing some stuff upstairs, probably getting all my supplies and all that, and my sister was there. And anyway, so I went back downstairs after a while to check out the seating arrangement to see if they were doing it. And I walked down there, and I'm just going, this is all wrong.
Oh.
And they're like, what? What are you talking about? And I said, this is theater style. I said, no, this is not how it's supposed to be.
Oh my
They had
gosh.
all the chairs lined up like a church.
Like on two sides of a aisle?
Yes,
Oh,
just all the chairs
my
lined
gosh.
up. And I said, I drew pictures. I have diagrams of how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be rounds of tables, rounds, and then and they're literally
Oh my gosh.
scrambling to get tables, move chairs, that redo the entire room.
Well, now they got to set tables.
And we're talking 220 guests.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness you walked down and checked
When
it out.
I did, yes, because you're right. They had to do the tablecloths.
All the silverware and the napkins and the plates.
My favors.
The centerpieces.
Everything. I had my flower girl was standing around waiting.
Oh.
So
my
anyway, yeah.
gosh.
So I'm very.
Oh, you mean the florist?
What did I say?
Flower girl. I was thinking of the girl that's in your wedding, like a flower girl that like drops petals. I'm like, that poor little girl was like standing around by herself
with her little basket.
I see.
Gosh, no,
You
I'm
mean
sorry.
your
The girl, my florist.
Yes, because she knew she had to do centerpieces for the tables.
She not only did my bouquet, she did the other girls' bouquets, right? My sister and the flower girl.
Okay.
She also was doing my cake. So she did live orchids, flowers.
That's her
all
favorite flower.
Down the cake and the centerpieces. She was doing.
gosh.
So she's standing around waiting.
For them.
They're scrambling all over. I'm about ready to throw up. And I said, just, get it done. So then I get back upstairs, and I'm telling my sister, like, oh my God, I can't believe that, So anyway, then I remember the phone's ringing up there. And it's my brother-in-law calling the room saying, everybody's already starting to come, and they're lining up. And I'm like, what? They're already here? And it was like 11:30. The wedding doesn't start till noon, and we're not ready.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're starting to line up outside.
Oh.
So now I'm really getting kind of flustered.
you would, yeah. Because it was a beautiful day. Like, it was
That's
an
what I'm just
October
gonna
wedding.
say.
Mhm.
We were so lucky because
Yeah.
we got married on October 19th, and it was a beautiful, sunshiny 80
We were all
degree
standing
day.
outside, and like the grounds are gorgeous. There was all these like plants and flowers and
Yeah,
trees.
it was gorgeous.
It was pretty.
It was pretty.
But honestly, like I had no idea that was going on.
Well, and I think too, my two nieces were doing the seating, so we had seating charts, and they were getting flustered because they weren't doing it fast enough because we had seating for where you were to sit at what table and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
They were getting backed up, and so anyway, so then I'm upstairs, and okay, let me backtrack a tiny bit. So my hairdresser, who was going to do my hair, unfortunately, her father passed away 1 week before my wedding.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
How
So, of course, I felt
sad.
horrible for her.
Yes.
But she canceled on me to do my hair for
Yeah.
the wedding, right?
Oh my gosh! And,
And
it's
I'm-
so hard to find somebody to do your hair
like
the way
brand
you like
new
it.
all of a sudden,
Had
right?
she done a trial run?
We hadn't
Oh,
done it
okay.
yet, but I knew she was going to do it,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, so now I'm scrambling for somebody to do my hair. And so my sister said, well, I do go to this one girl, and Richard knows her, and she's saying she could work you in, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, but I'm going to, go down to her shop and have her do like a dry run, like
Oh,
you
good.
said, right?
Right.
So this girl, though, the whole time I'm sitting in her chair, she never does my hair. So
Oh.
the whole time I'm telling her, like, I kind of want, like this updo here, like this, and I want, like some of this down like this, and I'm explaining to her, and she's just the whole time going, yeah, I know, yeah, I know, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, oh yeah, you want that, and yeah, so she wouldn't actually do it.
Wow.
So
That's kind of weird too, because like a wedding updo, like there's always a trial run, unless it's like your normal hairstylist.
And I had never been through it before, so
Right.
I actually almost thought maybe that's just what they do.
Oh.
Maybe that they don't
Maybe
actually
it's more like
do
a
it.
consultation and not like a
Yeah.
trial run.
Yes,
Of the do.
That's what I thought.
I am so sorry.
So
That's stressful,
I-
especially when she's not listening to you and she's just like assuming what you're saying.
the whole time. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
She
my
was
gosh.
so assured of herself.
That's
right?
making me feel nervous.
I should I should have felt nervous too.
Right.
So anyway, so of course we get there and that morning, and so she's there and she is doing my hair. So she's doing it and she's putting it up. Well, I can't even see what she's doing because this house is like built in the 1800s or somewhere, 19, I don't know.
Yes.
It's old though.
Yeah,
so it's
old.
like, very old and like
original.
like a Nevada city.
Right? Yeah.
So I don't have like a big old mirror to see what she's doing.
Oh.
So I can't see what she's doing.
Yeah.
So, because the bathroom is literally a pedestal sink.
So you have no counter space, no place to put a mirror.
Exactly.
And there's probably just a little round or oval mirror.
It's like a dresser, the old-fashioned dresser thing.
Yes.
So anyway, so she's doing my hair, and I'm watching a little bit. I can see a little bit of it, and she's doing it. I keep thinking, okay, well, maybe it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to, and I'm trying to tell her, and I am saying, like, do this part. So anyway, well, then she says she's done, and it's almost time for me to go downstairs. Our wedding was at 12 noon.
Gosh.
And it is like quarter till.
Oh,
now,
my gosh.
Quarter to 12.
You still got to get your dress on.
No, my dress is on.
Oh, okay.
My dress is on.
Okay.
I had her do my hair with my dress on.
Okay.
So then I looked at it. So I went to the bathroom. So I went in the bathroom and I looked at the mirror and I went, no.
What was wrong with it?
It just was nothing like I wanted.
Are you serious?
Like nothing.
Like, was it too much up or not enough up?
I think it was too much
up. My gosh.
And I wanted kind of an up-down do.
Yes.
And so I sat there for like 2 seconds in my mind going, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah.
This is my wedding day.
Yeah.
We're gonna have 1,000,000 pictures taken.
Totally.
And I hate my hair.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I'm all about my hair. We're hair people, We're hair people. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I got to make a decision.
Yeah.
So I either hurt her feelings or I just have horrible wedding pictures.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I guess I'm going to hurt her feelings.
Totally. I would have been like, I'm so
stood there
sorry.
pulling bobby pins out.
Oh, my
just pulling
gosh.
out. I'm yelling at my sister, Lorraine, get the mirror off the wall. There is this massive gold mirror on the wall. We are pulling this thing off the wall and putting it down on the ground so I can do my own hair.
Oh, my gosh.
So I am down there with hairspray and
in your dress.
In my dress.
Oh, my
doing
gosh.
Doing my own hair.
I'm having like heart palpitations.
I was beside myself.
That is so stressful.
It was way stressful. And then I guess people, of course I learned later, people were wondering if I wasn't going to come down.
Oh, she changed her mind.
Like I was the
runaway bride.
Runaway bride.
Yes.
Yeah, because
oh
it was like
gosh.
12. And they're in the orchestra. We had a 4-piece string orchestra.
Oh, that's right.
And they were playing music and stuff, and they just kind of kept playing.
You're like, please, we'll pay you later.
I know, right? And anyway, I finally came down.
And she looked amazing. You looked beautiful.
Everybody, thank you. But everybody said, oh, we wouldn't have never known that any of that happened. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what I've gone through prior to this walking down the aisle.
I mean, and that should be like, you should have had some time to like decompress, sit with Lorraine, like, have the sister talk about, oh, it's your wedding day and all that, and then be so calm. And you're like totally stressed out.
There was more even the 2 days? Maybe 2 days before the wedding. My sister didn't even know if she was going to be able to be my maid of honor.
Why?
Because she had kidney stone.
Oh my gosh. That is no joke.
No, and she gets those, and she was in pain.
Oh my gosh.
And she didn't even know if she was going to make it. And it just depends on where that stone is. If it moves and it gets to a place where she's not in so much pain. So she was in pain. She was not feeling good the whole entire time.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness she made it though.
I know.
Poor
It was
thing.
just, and then.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the wedding. Okay, so the wedding went off without a hitch, right?
Yeah.
Everything
that was
great. It went beautiful. We did our I-dos, all that. So what? Probably a guy at my work. He was a real estate agent that I worked with, and he had volunteered to video for us for free.
Oh.
And I said,
so nice.
really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I dabble in it for my church, and I would love to come to your wedding and do your video for
Aww.
you. So I'm like, great. So anyway, so he videoed the whole thing, and so probably I think the next week we got together after our honeymoon and got together with his family and stuff to open gifts and things and to watch the video. So as soon as the video comes on, I'm watching it. So you know how the groom is usually to the side. Sometimes I think at the Sterling Hotel he was supposed to actually be outside of the door. They had a door on the outside
that leads to like the area where you were getting married.
Right.
Okay.
And he was literally supposed to be out there and then just come up to the front when they start playing the wedding song, which I did the Somewhere in Time song.
Oh yeah.
I walked down the aisle too, right? So I'm watching this video and I'm looking at it and I'm looking and I'm like, John, why the heck are you out of the front there of the video before I've even walked down the aisle drinking red wine?
And
what are you doing? And walking around and talking with people.
He's supposed to like be tucked away and make like the grand entrance on the stage.
Uh-huh.
And he's socializing.
You know, he's socializing.
It's a social butterfly.
We're all in the back. His brother, my son. My son's walking me down the aisle. His brother was the best man, so he's with my sister. We had my niece as the flower girl. Right. We're all back there, right? Oh, no, here's John up at the front drinking and talking to everybody up front.
That is fun. I'm sorry, I can laugh now, can I?
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm still, I talk about it and it makes me irritated.
Yes, because you're like, you were supposed to be like in your position.
Yeah.
Not socializing.
I couldn't believe
And what if he spilled the red wine on his suit?
That's right. I mean, I didn't even think about that. I was so, like, flabbergasted when I saw that video, and I'm just like, what the heck?
Maybe John was nervous. He needed a little wine, to, like, mellow him out.
He goes, well, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to stand like over to the back. I go, we went over this. We did have a rehearsal. And I go, why would you sit there or stand there be drinking wine before your wedding? And he goes, because somebody handed it to me.
I mean, he is the groom. They're always drinking before the wedding.
Oh my
They're just
gosh.
not usually drinking when like the crowds are showing up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Drinking with everybody else before the bride even comes down.
I'm so sorry.
That's
funny.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was my wedding day.
Oh my gosh. Well, when you were talking about your hair fiasco, it totally like reminded me of my hair fiasco.
You
because
had one too?
I had my own hair fiasco.
Oh gosh.
And the crazy thing was that I had heard about this girl from a friend, and she had done her hair on her wedding day. So I already felt comfortable, but she did have me come down and do like a trial run. And she said, bring any clips or anything that you want to like use in your hair. And I did. I found this little sparkly, clip that I wanted to use. And so anyways, she was like a hair magician.
Oh, wow, nice.
She made my hair so pretty. If I could do my hair like that every day, I would. But I don't know how she did it. But it was...
Yours is pretty fabulous. So
well, thank you.
Okay.
I just loved how she did it because it had like these wispy little curls that were just kind of like randomly like floating around, and it looked very like I don't know, like a little bit old Hollywood, but not so curly. Like it was more wavy, and it was lovely. Like it was so pretty. And after I had my trial run, I loved it so much. I went to Carolyn's house because I wanted to show it off to her and like say like, what do you think this is how she's going to do it on my wedding day? And Carolyn was like, oh my gosh, you look so elegant. And I had this like off the shoulder or actually what do you call it? It was strapless, but it had like, my mom made me add spaghetti straps to the dress because we were getting married in a Lutheran church. So anyways, but it was a strapless dress and I had the spaghetti strap. So it's like having an updo just looked super, super elegant. And so anyways, Carolyn took me in her backyard and she took a bunch of pictures, and I thought, well, that's great because then I can remind her of what it looked like, when I go on my wedding day. So on my wedding day, she was not only going to do my hair, she was going to do my really good friend from, I think, 3rd grade is what we established. We met in 3rd grade. Hi, Sherry! And so she was... I said, why don't you go first? Because she had like shoulder length hair and she was going to do an updo. And I thought, well, hers will be very simple because my hair is like super long and there's a lot to work with. So my hair girl, when we got there, she seemed a little off. And so I was like, are you okay? And she was like, she totally started to melt down. She's like, no, my boyfriend broke up with me last night. And I was like, what? Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for her, but I'm like, please don't let this affect my hair day or Sherry's hair day, you know, because this is like maid of honor and the bride, right? So anyhow, I told her, I'm like, why don't you do Sherry first? Because, you know, I thought that Sherry's hair would be a little simpler and then she could, and she could warm herself up a little bit with doing Sherry's hair and then she could move to mine. Well, I'm not even joking you. I don't know. It was almost as if it was like Groundhog's Day because like she was moving so slow and I kept looking at my watch and I was freaking out like, I don't know. Seriously, it could have been 2 hours if it was 4 hours that she was working on Sherry's hair.
Oh my gosh.
And finally, I was like, are you going to finish her hair so that you can get to mine? Because I knew I had so much hair and I showed up with my hair straight. So she still needed to curl my hair, like fluff it up and then twist it all up and then have all these little things, you know, trendles coming down. Yeah. And so I was panicking. So anyways, and I have a lot of hair, but I have very fine hair. And so she knew that because she had done the trial run,
she'd
right?
already done it. Yeah.
She even told me, don't wash it the morning of the wedding. Wash it the morning before the wedding so that my hair had a little bit of texture.
Yes, yes.
So she's curling it, and I'm thinking, okay, we're doing good. But then she starts to, like, backcomb it, and she's like, I can't get the volume out of your hair that you need. And she kept spraying it with hairspray to, like, make it thicker. And I go, you're making my hair heavy because even though I have a lot of hair, my hair is really fine. Yeah. So you can't put too much hairspray in it to begin with. And then she starts, like, picking it, and I could see, like, there's these, like, fuzzy, like, what do you call it when it gets all tangled? Like, almost like knots, but it's, like, coated in hairspray. And so I'm, like, I told her, just hold on. Like, I make my hair fluffy every single day. Like, let me at least help you make it fluffy, and then you can do the updo. So I got her blow dryer and I stuck the diffuser on it and I'm like trying to dry the hairspray that she has like shellacked my hair, and it was a pump hairspray, so it was like
even worse.
Watery, and I use aerosol. Like sorry for the environment, but I use the aerosol. And so anyhow, so I'm blow drying my hair to try to get it to dry, and then I start trying to pick it, and it is just getting matted and sticky. It was terrible, and I'm just like, I don't even know what she's gonna do. And she goes, I got you. I know what I'm going to do. I could add hair extensions into your updo. And I'm like, I don't need hair extensions. Like, my hair is, like, down in my waistband. I have so much hair to work with. You don't need to do that. She's like, nope, I'm going to have to because now it's just, like, too sticky and too matted. So she runs in the back, and she comes out with blonde hair extensions. So now she has to dye these blonde hair extensions my hair color. And then she's blow drying these wet hair extensions so that she could pin them in my hair. It was terrible. So then she starts to do the updo, and I'm like, no, it doesn't have as much volume as I want. She goes, I got you. She runs to the back, and she gets
they
like,
always got you.
Oh, yeah. She acts like it's no big deal. And I'm like, we didn't have to do any of this on my trial run, right? Yeah. So she comes back with this, like, it looked like a foam donut.
Yep.
And so she, like, gets all of my hair into like a ponytail after I tried to fluff it all up. She gets all of the hair into like a ponytail. She slides this like foam donut all the way down to my scalp. And then she starts clipping hair extensions into my hair and like wrapping them around this foam donut. It was disgusting. Like, I felt so dirty and so sticky. And, like, it wasn't even this, like, fluffy, wispy, like, loose hairdo. It was, like, this, like, shellacked and, like, sticky. And I'm, like, sliding the rat tail comb, like, up against my scalp.
Trying
and,
to, like, loosen it.
Yes, to loosen it. But it was, like, so stuck. I was, like, I felt like my like hair was just plastered into this. It was terrible. It looked so bad. Like, I look at my wedding pictures now, and it just reminds me of
the day.
I
get it.
The terrible hair day. And anyways, it was terrible.
Especially for us to have, both of us having a horrible hair day.
Yes.
On our wedding day.
Yes.
And we're both such hair people.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen girls get married and their hair is just straight down, and it's just, it's not, put their, like my hair, like right now, they just put their veil right here. They pop it in and they bring it down. But we are such hair people, and we wanted it up, and we wanted it a certain way.
Yeah, and fluffy.
Fluffy, and
I know. It was terrible. I mean, my wedding pictures, nobody knows,
No,
but like,
I didn't know.
the thing is that, I when we got back to the honeymoon suite, I had so much like sticky stuff that like I was pulling hair extensions out of my hair that were just like, I don't know how she got them in there. I don't know if it was a little comb or a clip or a bobby pin. I don't remember. But like there was at least 10 hair extensions in my hair stuck in the updo. And then my real hair was stuck
on the donut?
On the donut because I got married July 29. And so, July 27. Braden was born July 29. We ended up never celebrating our anniversary after Braden was born because his birthday was 2 days later. But anyways, it was like 110 degrees on our wedding day. So I was like super hot. And so my hair was just like...
Oh, for like your pic, because the wedding was inside.
Yeah, the wedding was inside.
Outside
but we
pictures,
we had the reception at Granite Bay Country Club. It was a golf course. And so there was all these gorgeous like grounds that they took us in a golf cart and like drove us around to like by the bridge and by the willow tree and like all these different places. So poor Steve, he was like sweating like crazy in his suit.
I always feel bad for the guys.
Yes.
All of their tuxes.
Yes, and he had the 3-piece on, with the vest underneath, so he was sweating. But like my hair just felt so sweaty and sticky. It was just a disaster.
Oh my gosh!
I
I guess a lot of people have disaster things that that happened that. The audience, all your guests have no idea that even happened or went on, which that is the final outcome is what you want. You don't want to,
Yes, you want the guests to think everything's going off without a hitch.
Exactly.
And enjoy themselves,
Yes, exactly. I know, but... I think we all have our, our doubts and our little problems that happen. I know my sister, when she got married to her first husband, she had, we had done everything and, gotten all the stuff, and we were trying to do it really, cheap. So my mom had, made my dress. I was the maid of honor, and, we tried to do our own food. And so we had put a lot of work into it because we did everything, right?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so she got married, and probably a month later, she kind of said to me, if somebody would have said to me, you don't have to do this, she goes, I don't know if I would have done it.
Really?
I go, really? She
goes, my
yeah.
gosh.
She goes, but I felt like we had all done so much and put so much into it that there's no way I could back out.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you even thought that way, or I would have said it.
Yes, because you're her sister. You want the best for her.
Yeah. And she goes, I just knew I couldn't, and nobody gave me the out. So I just, I went with it. And well, sadly, they divorced.
Oh my gosh.
Not right away, though. But I mean, they were married for a while, and they did get a divorce. But it was just kind of funny because then when she married her husband now, and they've been married now for, I think, 32 years or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Her and Richard. When they were getting married, they got married up in Tahoe. And so I was up in the room with her, helping her get ready and stuff like this. So I said... So, Lorraine, if you don't want to go through with this, you don't have to.
Oh, my gosh. You're giving her the out. That she wished you would have given her the first time.
Yeah, I've given her the out this time.
Oh, my gosh.
And she said, oh, well, I appreciate it, but I think I want to get married this time.
Richard, he's a keeper. Oh, my gosh. But when she said yes to the first husband... Did she wish that she had said no? Or did something change? Did you ever...
I don't think she wished she said no. I think she just had doubts. Because she had, they ended up having a daughter, Samantha. They wouldn't have had Samantha.
Yeah.
And, and,
so, everything happened for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
So you weren't supposed to call off the wedding after all. That's so funny.
Wasn't.
Speaking of sisters' weddings, I joke about my wedding day fiasco with my hair, but Carolyn's wedding day literally goes down in the books as probably one of the worst wedding days ever. I wish she was here to tell it. And Carolyn, I'm just going to tell it on your behalf because it is crazy.
Oh, man.
I mean, if there was one thing after another. And the first thing that happened was about 2 weeks before her wedding day, her videographer had a heart attack.
Oh, gosh.
So he had to cancel. So fortunately, my sister Lovey had a friend, Mark, who was a videographer on the side. He was also in a band. And so he offered to do the videographer for the wedding. So we had that problem fixed. But Carolyn got married in April. And that day was a storm of all storms.
Oh, gosh.
It was raining and windy and lightning and thunder. Like, it was a terrible wedding day. And we kept telling her, everyone always says, if it rains on your wedding day, it's good luck, right? So we're just thinking.
Oh, no, it's not. It's an omen.
We learned the hard way. It was an omen because I was at my house. I still lived at home at the time. Carolyn got married really young. And so I'm in my bedroom getting ready, and all of a sudden the lights flicker and they go out. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I run out into the living room, and my mom and dad are out there, and I'm like, what is going on? And my dad's like, we have a power outage from the storm. And I'm like, are you joking me? Like, I was still curling my hair. So I frantically called the church to see if there was anybody at the church, and they were. So I told them, I'm like, I'm getting ready. I'm like, one of the bridesmaids, and so I need to get ready somewhere. So they're like, come to the church. So then I end up going to the church, and I'm using the room to get ready, and then all of a sudden there starts to be chit-chatting going around with Carolyn and the other bridesmaids. And I'm like, you guys, what's going on? And Carolyn was like, I'm trying not to freak out right now, but the dresses are not ready. All of our bridesmaid dresses were not ready. And Carolyn actually had found a tailor. She picked out the fabric. She picked out all the notions. So the dresses were gorgeous burgundy velvet. And there was 20 pearl buttons going all the way down the sleeve. And then they were a little bit poofy sleeve with a sweetheart neck, super tight right below the knee, okay? So Carolyn is trying to figure out, how can we help this tailor finish the dresses? So Carolyn reaches out to the Altar Guild and starts asking, does anybody know how to sew? And so Carolyn rallied up some of the ladies at our church and had them meet at the tailor and start finishing the dresses
on
that weren't done.
Wedding day?
On the wedding day. this, I'm not even joking you, is the morning
that
of
tailor's
the wedding.
fired.
Oh, Carolyn had a lawsuit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Carolyn had to do that. And apparently she ended up only making one payment of $100 to Carolyn, and then she bailed and skipped town. So Carolyn never got the rest of the money for all those dresses. So one by one, the ladies in the church were finishing the dresses and bringing them to us at the church where we were all waiting, to get dressed. And so there were supposed to be 20 buttons or 15 buttons on each sleeve. They had to skip because there wasn't time to do that many. So there was all these gaps where, there wasn't enough. And when we did our fitting, because they were semi-done, when we did the fitting, we said you have to put a slit in the back because
so you can walk.
we need to walk upstairs.
Oh, up upstairs.
And so, because the church has 4 or 5 stairs that lead up to the platform where the pulpit was and all that. So, anyhow, she never did the split in the back. So we had to just try to
scissors.
No, I don't even think we did that.
You didn't?
Well, I think we literally just shimmied up the stairs with the dress and just hiked it back down.
Wow.
Because literally one by one, and the dresses were named, so one by one they were bringing them and the girls were getting dressed, and it was terrible. And my right arm was too tight, and we're holding bouquets. So when I did my fitting, I said, you need to let the right arm out because it's so tight. I can barely bend my arm. She never did. So the whole time I'm holding the bouquet, my right arm is going to sleep because I don't have circulation. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's flash forward. We go to the reception, which is at this beautiful, it was the Victorian Inn. It's the same place that I had, ended up turning into the tea house where I had my baby shower.
Oh,
okay.
What was it before?
So I think it was called the Victorian, if I'm not mistaken.
I've never been there.
Oh my gosh,
wow.
it was gorgeous. They did wedding receptions and company parties and stuff there. And then, 20 years later, they turned it into a tea house, and that's where I had my baby shower. But anyways, so Carolyn had hired a DJ, and she told the DJ, do not play anything racy because whenever you have you're in a church and you have your pastor marry you, you invite the pastor to your wedding reception. And so Carolyn didn't want to be embarrassed by playing any, spicy or dicey kind of music, So anyways, they start playing Push It by Salt and Peppa, and Carolyn is just like,
Push
no!
it good.
Push it real good. And Carolyn's like, stop the music! Pastor is like having a coronary over there, right?
That
oh my
is
God.
freaking
It
hilarious.
was so embarrassing. Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay, and then so Carolyn had been eating jelly beans at the church all day because she didn't have anything to eat. And so now she's just trying to not get super buzzed and all the champagne getting passed around. And so anyway, she did fine. But the funniest thing, and I hope I don't laugh, I'm so sorry, Carolyn, because I know you're gonna watch this, but as she's leaving, and they have I think it was a Jeep, if I'm not mistaken, that they had tied a balloon arch to, and they were going to drive away after the wedding. So Carolyn was being very environmentally friendly, and she didn't want anybody to throw rice because that swells in the birdies' tummies. So she had birdseed, and so you're supposed to throw it in the air and let it shower down on the bride and groom.
Yes.
Well, people don't know.
They don't. They throw it at you.
Yeah, they literally threw it in Carolyn's face, and she is running to the Jeep, and she has got she said literally birdseed under her eyelids. So she's in the Jeep trying to pick the birdseed out of her eye. I mean, it was crazy. And then she said when she got to the hotel for the wedding night, she took off her corset underneath her dress, and all this birdseed come falling out in the bathroom.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I know. Carolyn and I always have this joke where we're the birdseed feels nice in the eyes, guys.
Oh my goodness.
So terrible. Anyways.
That was a fiasco.
It was the craziest day. I mean, honestly, I'm sure there was more things that went wrong that I'm just not thinking about, but it was the wedding disaster of all disasters. And being trapped in that dress all day was miserable. I was
bet.
absolutely miserable. I couldn't bend my arm. My arm was numb. I couldn't step. I could barely walk.
I was totally cut that slit up the back.
I know. I honestly I don't know if we thought about it or if we thought we would have ruined the dress.
Who cares?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
but
my
anyways.
gosh.
Oh.
Well, we sure hope your wedding didn't have so many disasters as ours and our sisters.
Yeah, our poor sisters.
But if we could have it all do it again, we would do it again.
Yes,
because it was super fun.
I know, weddings are amazing.
Oh my gosh, weddings are.
Now
so
we get to be guests at weddings.
Yeah, now we're guests. That's fun too, and you don't have to be nervous.
No,
I know.
No, we just get to enjoy all the fun.
We do. You get to enjoy the fun.
Serious.
And you can eat because when you're getting married, you don't eat because you're dress is so tight.
Yes, and you don't want
to eat.
Oh my gosh, I was so nervous I could barely eat. It's I always get a nervous stomach. Yeah, and then poor Carolyn, she's eating jelly beans all day, and I mean that just throws you off,
She probably was on a sugar high.
Yeah, definitely a sugar high.
Well, gosh, it was great to be with you guys today.
Yeah,
and we hope you all enjoyed our fun-filled wedding days.
No, right? And we hope you guys are gonna hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. We would super appreciate it. And you could follow us on social media at Facebook and Instagram. Our handle is at Girl Talk and Shenanigans Podcast, and we would love a follow. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Bye.